Okay. So I'm recording, okay? So I don't know if it will work. Let's try it, okay? Okay. Now,
Okay.
Samara, let's focus. Okay, tada, Tashvia, tada. Okay. So let's start doing the code, okay? What I will do, okay, this is the important part. You see this sprite? It it has like whenever we start the game, you see we just have like one what do we call it? Lemon, right? But you see, there's a two different sizes of lemon. Do you see it, Samara?
Yep.
Okay. So why is this? This is because we are doing something very how can I say it? Very complicated, but we can do it easily. Okay, this kind of thing here. So what I will do, rather than creating our own sprite, I'll just copy this sprite and put it in our code. So what I will do, I need two things. Oh, one more thing. We also need the audio files. Okay. So what I will do is copy the audio and the enemy. The backpack is loading. What's happening? Okay. So I'll delete all this thing. I'll add the audio. Let's see. Let's open it. And this enemy sprite. Yeah. Now I have done all these. I'll open this thing. I'll put the audio here. And I'll put the sprite here. Okay, so I have the enemy. I have the audio as well. Okay, now I'll delete both of them from here. And now what I will do is go to the enemy. There's a lot of things here. I'll just delete these codes. Okay, we'll make this one later. For now, I'll just delete this code. Okay, so now that I have deleted all this code, oh, what's happening? Okay, now that I have deleted all this code, now it is fresh. Okay, Samara, do the same thing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And please tell me when you are done. Like I will start after that. And Warisa, please focus on the thing that we are doing. Okay. I am recording this class. I will send you the recorded video, like all of you, so that you can like do it on your own. And this is a very good idea. We can like record. Why didn't I think about that before? Okay. So it will really help you guys. Okay. Samara, let me know when you are ready.
Okay, I'm done. My backpack took forever to load. You're on mute, you know.
Oh, sorry, you didn't listen to anything that I have said.
No, you were on mute the whole time.
Okay, okay. So what I was saying is that now we will add some audios. ঠিক আছে? So
Yeah.
in audio, you'll see there's a lot of audio files. Okay. So this one was very loud. So what I just did, I just make it more soft. Okay. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
mute it. I just made it more soft so that we can listen to this thing. So now
Mm-hmm.
it's soft and it's good. So here's we also have laser shooting. We also have explosion. All the sound that we need are here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing we will do, we'll go to the backdrop. And here we have pop. I'll delete this sound. So what I will do is from the audio, I'll add this n dimension. You see this sound? I'll drag this and I'll put it into the backdrop. Okay. Now if I go to the backdrop and backdrop sound, you see there's this sound, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'll just add this sound right here. So to do that, okay. So I did not hear the sound with my screen. Okay. So let me
Mm-hmm.
share the sound. Okay, so now I'll share and I'll share it with sound. Okay, now it's working. So what I will do, adding sound is pretty easy, right? I'll just add an event when the green flag is pressed. I need a forever loop. And here I'll just play sound until done. So it will, when it's done, it will repeat. You see, I have added the sound. So you can add another any background music that you like, but right now just keep it this way. Okay, we
Okay.
let's not make things more complicated because this project is already very complicated. Okay, so once something happened, like I started doing the code on my own, and somehow in part 4 or 5, I have made some mistake. Okay, and it took me nearly 3 hours just to find out where I made that mistake. Okay, so this is kind of pretty difficult for us. Okay, so now that I have added the backdrop sound, let's add the sound to the laser. Okay, so you see, if we fire, there is no sound. So what I will do, I'll go to the sound and you see we have pop. I'll just delete this. And what I'll do, go to the all sound and here from sound, we have a laser shoot file. You see? So I'll copy this file into the laser thing. And I'll go to the laser and to the sound. And you see, I have the sound here. So what I will do, when I start as a clone, like we have already done all the codes, okay? So when I
Yeah.
start as a clone, uh, I'll just start. Should I use this? Let's see. Yeah. So this one is fine, but this is G-Sync. So what I will do, I'll use this one. Yeah. Good. Now the laser is firing. It's being more lively, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now that we have added all these things and all the colors,
Mm-hmm.
let's. Okay, so we have added both of the colors. Let's start working on the enemy or the lemon. Okay. So let's start one by one. First of all, you'll see we have two different like layers. So this
Mm-hmm.
thing is pretty big, right? So what
Yeah.
I'm doing is at first, I am taking this sprite, okay? And if you look at my game, you see this lemon, they're spawning from the very edge, from out of the like screen, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The reason that it is spawning from that is because we have first taken this thing. Okay. So this is for each lemon, we will take this thing, but we'll hide this thing. Okay. And so what it will do, it will come from the outside of the box and it will come smoothly. Okay. But what happens, by default, like whenever we're doing the code, this kind of animation, like they're floating from outside of the screen, this is pretty difficult to make. Okay. So we have
Mm-hmm.
made uh some, how can I say it, like cheeky way of doing this thing. Okay, so this is
Okay.
pretty easy way of doing this thing, but we are just over complicating this thing, but that's fine, I guess. Okay, so first of all, what I will do, I'll start with when the green flag is pressed. Okay. Then I will switch my costume. Okay, so you remember we have these two costume like big and lemon. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I start, I will switch my costume. Where's the switch costume here? Uh, okay, did I share this project with you as well? So you can like do the code from there and just refresh to get the latest update. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so oh, I'll switch the costume to the lemon. Okay, not the big one. Then I'll tell it to go to the back layer. Where's the back layer? Yeah, this one. And I'll tell it to go the back layer. Why is that? Because if you look at our game, you see whenever the lemon comes, you see it's always on the back layer, isn't it? And if we did not do it this way, this will come into the front layer, like ahead of the player. So this will not look good. So I'm telling it to go to the back layer. And at the same time, what I will say, I'll set this size to 300. So we can do it from two different way, like this way from here, and we can also do it from adding right here. So I'm setting the size to 300, and then I'll hide this thing, plain and simple. Okay. Then we will do something else. We will use a wait block, but we'll use a wait 0 second. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we doing that? That is because whenever we make it like wait 0 second, so it waits, like we wait for like all the script to execution. So you remember that in our last class I have told you what scripts are. Did I tell you?
I don't remember.
Okay, so let me explain it again. So in this player code, you see there's a lot of code, right?
Yeah.
So this is a script for player. Okay, so this code only works for player, right? Does
Mm-hmm.
this code work for laser or enemy?
No.
No. So this is the script for player. Okay. And where this script start? It start from when the green flag is pressed, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here you see all the code. So this is basically what scripts are. Like in laser, where the script start? When the green flag is pressed, right? So we have script for all other codes. Okay. So uh, you remember why do we use that? I'll explain it later. For now, just use this code. I'll explain it later briefly how this works. Okay. So this basically, okay. One more thing, this thing doesn't do anything. Okay. Right now, if you don't use that, that will not be any problem. But in next chapters, like part 4 and 5, this code will play a major role. Okay. So now add this code right here. Then what I will do, I'll add a forever loop. And forever loop, I'll add, what can I add? Okay, I'll make a function called, let's see, you see, this thing, they spawn in like 2 seconds, right? You see, there's a limited time, then they spawn, right? So what I will do is I'll make a function. I'll name it new enemy, and this thing will spawn and I'll give wait 2 seconds. So what this thing will do, like after each 2 second, I'll do all the codes here, and in each 2 second, one new enemy will spawn. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Now that we have done that, let's start with okay, so there's nothing to test, okay, because all our sprite is hidden, so we cannot test anything right now. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so what I will do is, oh, first of all, now comes the cheeky part. Okay, the what I can say, like the complicated thing that we are doing. So what I will do, I'll first switch costume to the big. Then I will go to 0 0. I'll make it 0 and 0. And then what I will do is I have made a variable called dir, you see. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever you imported this code already like uh, comes with your sprite. Okay, so I'll use this. What this thing means? This means direction. Okay, dir means direction. So what I will do, I'll set my direction to, I'll use the random. So okay, so my direction can be anywhere, like from the top, from the left, from the right. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll take a value, and for any direction, what would be the value? Can you tell me, Warisa and Samara? What can the value be?
Mm.
Hmm. So have you done like trigonometric in your school?
No, not yet.
Okay, no problem. So the way of how we calculate the direction is from plus 180 to minus 180. Okay, so you see in here, you see we have this. You see minus. What's the range? Minus 180. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
And then plus 180. So this covers all the direction, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So what I will do, let's see if I somehow change the code. Okay, now it's working fine. So what I will do, I'll use the value of 180 and minus 180. So it will pick randomly between these two values. Like these are the two extreme endpoints, okay, of the value. So it basically what it means is we are picking any direction, like any random direction. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Now this code is basically the same as where's the point toward? Uh, where's the random direction? We had a code called random direction, right? Point in direction, we have random position. Ah, we don't have any random direction. So what we can do, point in direction, random direction. If we use that, this is the random direction code. Okay. So now that
Mm-hmm.
we'll use this later. Oh, no, now I need this. So I have set the direction, right? Now I will use the value to put the direction. Okay. Then
Mm-hmm.
I will do one important thing. I'll go to move minus 350 steps. So what does it mean? It means that you see what this value means. What's the range of our screen? Plus 240, minus 240, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Then minus 180, plus 180 in y-axis, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling it to go outside of the screen. Okay. And then I will switch my costume to lemon. Switch my costume to lemon. So you see all this code. This is
Mm-hmm.
all uh, kind of unnecessary. We are just making so that whenever I start the game, you see this thing. Usually it comes from right here. Okay, it starts from here. So what we are trying to do, we want to make this come from out of the box, like out of the screen, like here. Here it will rotate and come. Okay, this is what we are trying to achieve right here. Okay, so this is minus 350. Now I'm switching to lemon. Then I'll set my speed to, let's make it 1. Good. Now that I have done that, what I will do, I'll create a clone. Where's the clone? Where's the clone making thing? I'll create a clone. Okay, I have created a clone. And then what I will do, uh, when I start as a clone, I'll first show. Otherwise, because it's hidden, right? We have not showed it. So it will not work. So I'll just show. And then I'll take a forever loop. And inside, I'll tell it to move. And let's tell it to move. So let's test it. Do you see? It's coming outside out from outside of the screen, isn't it? Samara and Warisa.
Yeah.
You see it's coming outside of the screen. And now I'll
Mhm.
add the speed right here. You see this thing is working, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that it's coming from all the sides, we'll have to add some more things. Yeah. So this is basically the speed, the speed thing. And let's change the value to 10. It's going here. It's coming. Good. It's working. Okay. Okay. This thing is working. And now what I will do, like, there's a limit of how many sprites we can create in Scratch, right? So you see,
Mhm.
we are making this clone, but are we deleting this clone anywhere in our code?
No.
So, so, so we are not deleting it. So what it is doing, it is like in whenever it's going to the corner, it's staying there. Okay, it's not deleting, but we are not able to see it. Okay, so what we can do, we can just delete this one. Okay, and there's one more thing we can do. We can like wrap around it. Like if we go here, we can like make it go from the original position. Okay, so in that way, this thing will not delete itself, but whenever it goes to the border, it will revert back to its original position. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. For that, what I will do is I'll go make a block and I'll call it wrap around and I'll make it okay. So do you understand why I am wrapping around this thing,
Mhm.
Samara? Okay, good. Now I'm wrapping around this thing, and what I will do, I'll add this code right after the move block. And here I will check. So what does wrapping mean? If my x become so the maximum range is negative 350, right? This is the value. So whenever it goes to this position, like x will be negative 350, okay, I will make the x to positive 350. So it will come to the opposite side, right?
Mhm.
So what I will do, I'll take a if block and here I'll check a condition called if less than 350. So if it becomes positive 350, what? My x position, then I will set my x to negative 350. Okay.
Mhm.
And remember one thing. Inside this one, I will create another if block and it will be inside this thing. Okay. Not outside. It will be
Mhm.
inside. Here, I will change this code from greater than. I'll delete this code. And here I will use the less than code. Okay. So if this is less than minus 350, I will set my x to positive 350. Okay, one more thing that I have forgot to do. This is not a if block. I'll delete it. I'll go here and I'll choose a if and else block. Okay. And within the if block, I'll do this thing. And inside the else block, I'll add this thing. Okay. So this is basically the code that if my x value is greater than 350, like it's outside of the sprint, it will set the x to 350. So it will go around and it will go here. Okay. Suppose
Mhm.
this is the like enemy. So it's coming from here. Suppose here and it's going all the way from here. So this is negative 350 x. Okay. So what
Mhm.
it will do when it is here, it will jump back to this position. Okay. So that we don't have to delete it or it will not be staying here. Okay. So this is one way of doing things. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is for x axis. So I'll just duplicate this thing and remember I'll add it after this thing. Okay. Here. And rather than using x position, I'll delete this. I'll go here. I'll choose the y position. Y position, and I'll delete the set X and I'll
Mhm.
choose the set Y. Okay, now we have a different calculation for Y. If my Y is greater than 280, I'll set my Y to minus 280. And if this value is minus 280, I'll make this one to plus 280. Okay, so
Mhm.
this is basically the code. Now, first I will test this without this code. So I'll make the move block very fast so that I run out of all the what I can say, all the lemons. So I'm running. Okay, why it's not doing anything? Let's make it 10. Okay, so 10. So I made it very fast. Yeah, yeah. So there's all the lemons. You see, this is going to the edge. You see, this is stuck here.
Mhm.
You see this thing stuck here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So now if I add the run wrap around, okay, it's also doing the same thing. Why is that? Okay, so how can we test that? There's a scratch extension. Okay, no problem. I'll just test this for you. Just add this one, okay, and change the value to the speed. So this is the wraparound code. Do you need some time to do the code?
I need like a couple of minutes.
Okay, so do this code and just tell me when you are done. Okay,
Okay.
we have like 3 or 4 lines of code now. Then after that, uh, you're almost done for part two.
Mhm.
Okay, in the meantime, let me test if I did all the code correctly. I'll start from here, then I'll go back here. Nice. So this is the wraparound code. Yeah, everything looks fine. Let's see it from here. This is the code. This is the code. Yeah, everything looks okay. Oh, nice. I can draw on my screen. Should use that sometime.
Mhm.
Okay, Samara, are you done?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, good. Now that we can like at least make these things move and change the directions, what I will do now is I'll do this part. Okay. So first of all, let's do the easy thing. Whenever you are firing the laser, what it should do, it should like delete this clone, right? So I will just take a if block, and here if touching the laser, I'll just delete this clone for now. Okay, I will modify this code later. Modify this code later. Now I'll just delete this. Like in next part, we will modify this thing and make it more interesting. Okay. Like one thing you can see that if you see like if you have like two and three cones, let me give an example. Like if you have like one lemon here and another lemon behind it, so if you fire a bullet, it
Mm-hmm.
hits this one, it is deleted, right? Then it
Mm-hmm.
also travels and hit this one. So
Mm-hmm.
in one laser, I can delete two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in real life, does it work like that? Does a bullet or does a laser go uh, from like delete all the things? It does it, right? It deletes one by
No.
one, right? So let me give you an example of what we'll do in next class. How do I stop the annotate thing? Give me one
Mm-hmm.
second. Clear all the drawing. Yeah, good. Now what I will do is let's just let's duplicate this. Okay, so I already have this one. This the part five. Where's the part five? This is part four. This is the part five, right? So I'll take a look, see if I did this correctly. Yeah, so this is the game, and you see the sprite is deleting, like the laser is deleting as well. Do you see it? It does not go after one. You see? So this is basically what we will do in future. But for now, let's just keep this thing like this way. Okay. So this is pretty easy. Okay, now I will complete this thing. So here, first of all, I'll add two lines of code. First, I'll switch costume to big, and then I will also switch costume to the lemon, and it will be like after the wraparound, and this will be up before the wraparound. Okay, let's see if it should does anything. Yeah, it's doing something, but we're not sure what it is doing. So why I did that? I'm changing this instantly. Okay, like I'm switching this costume to big and switching this to lemon, but we are not seeing the big thing here. Okay. Okay, now that I have done this, now let's add the movement. So I'll remove this move, and what I will do, this is something very interesting. So you see these lemons are rotating, isn't it? They're rotating. So how
Yeah.
can I rotate a lemon? So let me annotate. So there's a lot of different way of doing that. I can like rotate and I can do stuff, but the easiest way is using something called sine and cosine. So you know what these things are. So when you do like trigonometry in your school, uh, uh, you will get this. You will learn this thing like sine theta and cosine theta of how it works. So basically, what I'm doing is sine theta has something like a waveform. Okay, so if you plot this, it will go like this one, like this. And what the cosine theta does, it does the exact thing, same thing, but it's the opposite. Okay, so this is how the cosine theta looks. Okay, so I will utilize these two to do this code. Okay, so this is pretty difficult kind of right now because it is something related to math, but now I'll just use this one. Okay, like just follow the code. Like we don't need to know like everything of it. Okay, so what I will do, I'll first go to the motion and I'll check two block. First of all, I'll change the x by 10 and I'll also change the y by 10. Okay. So using that on the right of my screen. Now, what I will do, I'll go to the operators, and here I'll add this, the multiply function. Okay, two of them. I'll put it outside here. Okay. After that, what I will do on the left side of each of this, I will add the speed. Okay. I also need the dir. I will not add them on the right because I have something else to do. Okay. So I have taken these two. Now I will go to operators, and here on the bottom, very bottom, you'll see we have something called ABS. This is absolute. Okay. So there's a lot of mathematical function that we can do. So I'll take this code twice. So where the x is, in x, I'll add the sign of dir, and where the y is, I'll add the cos of dir, and I'll add this thing on the right side, and I'll add this thing with the right side, and I'll drag the whole thing into the x block, and I'll drag this whole thing into the y block. Okay. Now I will need to add one more because this is the linear movement, like going up and down. Okay. So what I also need to do, I need to turn it. So I'll go here and I'll choose a turn of 3 degree. Turn of 3 degree. Now let's add this code after the wraparound. And now we come to the most crucial part to test our code. If I run this and if our lemon starts to move, then we will conclude that our thing is doing properly, it's working properly. Okay. So good luck. Let's test this. If I press space, oh, nice. It's moving. Isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay. Now we don't have any explosion sound. We'll do that in the later part. Okay. So can you do this code now?
sure.
Okay. So do this, and after that I'll check if your code is working or not. Okay. Because if it does not work, that means you have made some kind of mistake, and we'll have to find that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. So this is basically part two for today, and I will verify it. Then after that we'll finish. Okay. So if your code works, that means that we don't have any bug at all in our code. What is, are you there? So I will send this Zoom meeting link to all of you. Okay. And okay, first of all, let me end the uh, what I what the what is this? This is the screen recording, right? Okay. So I'll send this recording to all of you. I will upload it on YouTube and like send you the links. Okay. So that you don't have to download the whole thing. So first I'll stop the screen share, and then